So, ABC News. Some Republican lawmakers skewer Trump's beef imports and slam Canada trade war. CBS News. A rancher says Trump cutting tariffs on foreign beef could run him out of business. USA Today. Where's the beef? From. Trump's mystery meat plan is a mess. Worst headline of the week. Trump's mystery meat. Don't put these words in that chronological order. Back to CBS. One day ago, Minnesota cattle farmers criticized Trump's plan to waive higher beef tariffs in effort to lower prices. So, what's going onward? So, on August 21st, less than a month to my mother's birthday, Republican President Donald John Trump announced a temporary 90-day suspension of out-of-quota tariffs on up to 300,000 metric tons of imported ground beef. The administration framed the emergency directive as a necessary measure to combat historic food inflation, claiming the imported meat will be sold at 25% below current market rates. However, the unexpected trade shift has triggered fierce backlash from McPublican lawmakers and cattle ranching groups. Really? Get out of here. The same people that voted for it generationally, right? Like, I'm deep into this adulthood thing. I'm no longer some 21-year-old hopping in like, yo, this is what I think about the politics, man. Ralph Nader, man. No, I'm deep in, which means other people my age from then are also deep in. People in my age group that were born into Reagan and heard adults talking about how Reagan fucked up and saw George Herbert Walker Bush when we were children. Read my lips, no new taxes, fuck up and then lose to Clinton. Right, then we saw that goofball ass Bob Dole campaign in 1995 and 6. Right, people my age that are in the game saw this. People older than me, right? I'm in my 40s. People in their 50s and 60s, born a decade, double decades ahead of me, they saw it even more. Right, there are people that are 60 years old that saw the Reagan administration as young adults, then the Herbert Walker as they continued on. And then as they're going into their 30s, 40s, some of them, maybe even their 50s, they see the Bush administration, right? 2001 to 2009. And they're still voting post-1964 Republican, and we know why. And they're gonna blah, blah, blah my ranch. Blah, 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 he said no new taxes. Blah, I'm disappointed in that. Y'all are disappointed in every Republican president, and your only beef, your only ranched beef that you're dressing up your little anger at any Democratic president is that some time ago they passed the Civil Rights Act. Y'all can't get over it. And we can't have real political discourse unless you actually say that's why you hate Democrats. You can make up all this extracurricular bullshit all you want, but we know the source. The root cause. The root cause was the Civil Rights Act. And that nigga, Lyndon B. Johnson, he said, he was like, yo, we're losing that white Southern vote for a generation. How long is a generation? Because it's been 6 decades, baby. Maybe that's a generation. Maybe the next decade around. I have my doubts, though, because they have all these made-up fake reasons. And then they vote for it and they get what they have coming, right? Here it goes. Get to watch it in real time. But I guess the difference now is people aren't talking about it at their Thanksgiving dinner or in the barber shop, maybe still with some coworkers. But now you can see these people go on the internet and complain and then get even more angry when people are like, yo, you goofed up. You goofed up. And then here we go with one of these people that goofed up and can't handle the fact that they did.
So I just cannot believe the hate that just keeps piling on to my TikToks, talking about the struggles of farmers, financially, mentally. And all it is, but who did you vote for? But who did you vote for? Well, I can guarantee you from now on, I would never, ever vote for a Democrat, liberal, socialist, communist, ever in my life.
They said from now on. That's obviously just poor wording, right? Like they didn't really think it through because this person is like legitimately angry that other people have the freedom of speech that they say everyone should have. And yeah, you would never in your life again word that one up again.
Vote for. Well, I can guarantee you from now on, I would never, ever vote for a Democrat.
We know why you would never vote for a Democrat. Now throw in some other words that you were taught are scary.
Liberal, socialist, communist.
Liberal, socialist, communist. Like these are all interchangeable for them. It's kind of like how I watched in real time with the white manosphere as they made woman and feminist the same word for their audience. This is what happened. Look into her eyes. Gone. All she sees is, you're not in compliance with what I want. Why are you not in compliance? The world should be in compliance with my wants. That's it. That's all that's in those eyes. A demand for compliance with what I want.
Ever in my life, if this is the way I would ever be treated by people that vote this way. I love my farm. I'm going to continue to talk.
And this is the way I would be treated by people that vote this way. Again, what is this treatment again that she says is so bad? What's this, how you've been treated?
To my TikToks, talking about the struggles of farmers, financially, mentally. And all it is, but who did you vote for? But who did you vote for?
People asking, who did you vote for? That's called a question. Answer it. Who did you vote for? That's one thing I noticed she didn't do, because she didn't say who she did vote for. All she did was say what party after 1964 she won't vote for, and then threw in a couple of scary words.
Well, I can guarantee you from now on, I would never, ever vote for a Democrat, liberal, socialist, communist, ever in my life.
And again, like, pedantry is good for you at times. That times would be almost 100%. Pedantry is good for you, right? Liberal, socialist, communist. Those words have prefixes. Ist, the practice of. No one on the internet calling themselves a communist is actually practicing communism. You know what they're practicing? They're practicing what they're essentially coercively forced to practice, which is proletarianism, if anything. You're the proletariat. You go to work. Hell, me in front of this microphone is work. And then an hour later, from being on this microphone, I'll be picking up my toolbox and going down to the factory to work. Proletarian. I am the proletarian. Right? I go to work. You don't practice communism. You're not a communist. I know you like the word, and I think a whole lot of people actually really like the words socialist and communist, particularly on the white side, really because they feel like they're being subversive to dad. Right? Like, they're not too different from Republicans, where it's kind of just a fuck you dad politics. Right? More so than I took this shit serious. All right. Continuing on with homegirl Queen McRanch.
If this is the way I would ever be treated by people that vote this way.
Also, treated. These are comments. This isn't treatment. What the fuck are you talking about? Treated? Right? It's not like you went into a restaurant and it was all run, right? All the staff, the management, everyone working there, and most of the other patrons are people that don't vote for post-1964 Republicans, the party of Strom Thurmond, people that vote against that, and they're just like They're walking up to your table with your food, and as they set the plate down, they spit on it in front of you like, yeah, motherfucker, yeah. Like, nobody did that. Get out of here. Come on, like, what are we talking about? What, you went up to a recreational event, right? You're gonna go shoot some pool with the people that you don't vote in line with. And what they do, they took a pool cue and smashed it in your face. That didn't happen. You're not being treated in any way. They are comments on the internet, and comments of which are inquiries. What did you say there were again? What was this that you call treatment?
Those of farmers. Who did you vote for? But 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 who did you vote for?
Yeah, who did you vote for? That's called a question. Answer it. You like talking so much, answer the question. You know, if you answer it, you'd still be talking, which seems to be your true joy.
Continue to talk about farm policy and things that are impacting farming. I don't talk about politicians, but maybe I will, because I feel like I've been kind of pushed to it. But that's not what I want to do.
You feel like you've been pushed to it by a question that you just won't answer. I bet you were saying his name before the election. Like, you are the child of his destiny. Say his name, say his name. When no one is around you. Say, Trumpy, I love you. You ain't running game. Say his name, say his name. You're acting kind of shady. You're not calling him baby. You ain't running game.
I want to let everybody know what's going on in the agriculture industry and how we really need to save the family farm. So I guess for all of the people that are piling on, talking about that I voted for my own demise, screw you.
Wait a second. They said you voted for your own demise. You didn't answer who you voted for yet. And quote him. Who said that? Somebody actually said, you voted for your own demise. Did they do an impression of Skeletor when they did it? Did they say, you fool? You voted for your own demise. Is that what happened?
I'm going to keep doing what I do because people need to hear about agriculture and where their food comes from. All right.
And also, your farm isn't the only farm. I don't know if you know this, but if your farm goes down, everyone still eats, B. Everyone still eats. You know, I gotta tell you, if you are a rapper, your album would be titled Barcicist, which is actually kind of a hot title. You don't deserve that. All right, get the fuck out of here.